Hey guys, Matt here from TechRate Reviews. The Retina MacBook Pro is regularly regarded as one of the best overall laptops you can buy, and while I really enjoyed using mine over the last 6 months, there are definitely some things I would change, and if you're looking to buy one, these may or may not be deal breakers, so these are the 6 reasons you should not buy the Retina MacBook Pro. The first problem is there's no user upgradable RAM. And this is a huge problem as the amount of RAM you select when you purchase the computer is how much you're going to have for the entire life of that computer. So if in the future you start using apps that demand more memory, you're going to have to buy an entire new laptop just to be able to run those. And this might be okay if Apple made the RAM affordable when you're buying it, but they charge hundreds of dollars just to get 16 gigs of RAM, when on older Macs you're able to buy 16 gigs of RAM for less than half that. The second problem with this computer is Apple only included 2 USB ports, and I find this really annoying as if I plug in a thumb drive and then a mouse or some other accessory, there are no ports left for a microphone or external hard drive, and it's really frustrating since Apple included 2 Thunderbolt ports, and I've never used one of those. I think it would have been much better if they did 3 USB ports and a single Thunderbolt, as almost every computer accessory in the world runs off USB. And there are definitely workarounds if you need more ports such as a USB hub, but that's just another thing you have to carry around and just reduces the portability and convenience of the laptop. The third reason is this computer is very expensive. Starting at $1,300, it costs more than a lot of the computers out there, and as I've talked about in my videos about Chromebooks before, for most people a computer that can just handle a web browser very well is more than enough for the majority of the tasks you're doing. But if you are still set on getting a Mac, the MacBook Air is much cheaper. It starts at $999 for the 13-inch model, and that will allow you to do all your basic tasks along with some light video editing and graphic design. The fourth reason is this computer has no dedicated GPU. And while this is definitely not a problem in day-to-day use or even when editing video, if it did have a dedicated GPU, you'd be able to export videos far faster or 3D animations if you do graphic design. And I know you don't buy Macs for gaming, but when I occasionally play games such as Grid 2, I have to turn the settings down to low to medium to play at any reasonable frame rate. And while technically you can get a dedicated GPU on the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro, that's the top of the line version and it'll cost at least $2,500, which for most people is far out of their price range. The fifth reason is storage in this computer is insanely expensive. I only have the 128GB version right here because to get a 256GB hard drive costs $1,500, a 512GB hard drive costs $1,800, and if you get a 1TB SSD, you're paying a minimum of $2,300. And as a result, I usually carry around this 128GB thumb drive or this 1TB external drive just so I can edit my videos and do work in Photoshop, as generally speaking, just by editing a single video or maybe 2, I'm completely out of space on my laptop, so for me 128GB is not enough. Fortunately, the SSD is the one user upgradable component in these computers, but the problem is OWC and the other third-party manufacturers that generally release drives for these computers have been unable to manufacture a compatible drive for both the 2014 and 2015 Retina MacBook Pro. I really hope in the future I'm able to upgrade it, but for now I'd say buy as much storage as you need when you first buy the computer, as you may not be able to upgrade it in the future. The sixth reason is there's no quad-core option for the 13-inch Pro, and while that's fine if you were going to be buying the 15-inch version anyways, a lot of people can't do that either due to price or portability concerns, and it's like what I was saying with the dedicated GPU, you aren't going to be needing it in daily tasks, but when you're doing things like Photoshop and video editing, it would be nice to have an option to get a quad-core processor. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I don't want to make the MacBook Pro seem like a bad computer because I really use it every day and I do enjoy it a ton. These are just some things that I wish Apple would either fix with it or just have options to upgrade to, but it is still a fantastic laptop. I may be doing a review or some reasons why to buy this laptop soon, so subscribe if you want to see those, or just tell me down in the comments if there's any other coverage you want to see of this computer. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.